3 cars on the warm-up lap, and the grid is an aggregate of the two results from the first two races. So Elsgood will start from pole alongside Chris Pither, but Grant Johnson, even after that mistake in race 2 under this format, gets back to the second row.
Well, and that's because he had a fantastic qualifying result as well. We add up all of the points and he'll start third, which is great for his championship.
Roll Harris and Peter Burnett starting back on row 8. Then Scott Jennings, a rebuild on that car from Paul Morris Motorsport in between rounds. Been a while since we've gone racing, and Craig Donis, the luck hasn't improved, but at least his racing number matches his grid position.
And the team's done a great job to get that car fixed after some pretty heavy damage in race 2.
Now, Charlie Kovacs has been sent to the rear of grid for a technical infringement from the last race, so the mustachioed one has plenty to do in this final race of the weekend. We get the green light, and Chris Pither, he is the man who has got the whole shot.
Yeah, that was an excellent start, which is unusual for Johnson off to the left side of your screen there, because he's been a bullet all year.
Elsgood slow. He's been swamped by the two Commodores. Johnson goes the outside, fishes through to third. We jump back aboard with Peter Burnett.
Oh, this is the bit where I close my eyes every single time. He's got Rob Jarvis off to the right-hand side of him. He's made it through. Whew. That's unusual for a race restart.
Hey, they haven't got to the second quarter yet. Give
That's
it time.
true.
So Pither leads, Johnson a second, Fisher's jumped to third, so Elsgood has got some work to do. Yeah, back to fourth.
We go on board now, the quadrant on board with Jack Elsgood. He had a shocker of a start as he tucks up just behind. Fisher does a safety tap there just to make sure the brakes are up on the, or the brake pads are up on the disc. Doesn't want to lock it up.
And everyone covering that inside line at Honda Corner.
We've got through there cleanly. That is a miracle. Normally we see at least one or two get hip and shouldered. Oh, did I speak too soon? No, we've made it through. Unbelievable.
Charlie Kovacs has already got through 5 or 6 of them. Down the back of the pack, you can see there Ben Dunn getting a touch.
Baxter just giving him a little rub, letting him know he's there. It's only lap 1 of 10, but the aggro starts pretty early in a V8 Ute race. But look at Johnson. He's like a shark. He's just hunting down the back of Pither's car as we go over Lukey Heights for the first time.
Andrew Fisher staying with them.
Pither!
He locked the left front and then the right front. He's all about equality.
Oh, and have a look now. That bought the field a little bit. That's allowed Elsgood around the outside. Does he touch him? No. It's a bit early. Like, you know, we've got 10 laps, and you don't want to do what we did in race 2, which is have cars here, there, and everywhere. So
DBA in car with Andrew Fisher, feathering the throttle, trying to drive it off turn 12. Not a bad run either from Jack Elsgood, who's right with him. Cedars is out wide as he and Kurt Wimmer battle for position.
Kurt's had a fantastic return to the category. He hasn't been in since last year. He's replacing Brad Patton, as you mentioned earlier. But Cedars just takes that run down into turn 1. He's on strict instructions, is Kurt Wimmer. Do not break the car.
Well, the fact is it's not his, so but it's never stopped you drivers before. Again, we saw this in the last race. Fisher, the classical wide line, the late apex point. That leaves the door open, and it just tempts the driver behind to stick their nose in.
Yeah, it's a double apex corner, so you clip the first one, go out wide. That gives you a really good run down to the hairpin just here. Johnson, though, continuing to stay tucked up behind Pither as we go down the back there. Oh, Wimmer just had a look at the Newell Falcon. Can't get it done, though.
I'm not sure what it is about the rhythm of a V8 Ute race weekend. Race 1, they're a little bit asleep. They're very pedestrian, occasionally a bit of drama. Race 2, they go nuts.
Pedestrian?
Well,
you ever seen a V8 Ute race be pedestrian?
Pedestrian for a Ute race. Race 2, they lose the plot. And race 3, they all come back to pretty much line ball. And occasionally, when there's a spot up for grabs, they'll have a run.
That's because their team managers are into them between the two races, saying, mate, you're in a chance for the podium here. Do not mess it up. Look at Johnson. He's all over the back. Pither locks it up again. It's almost like he's overdriving the car because he knows how fast Johnson is.
And Johnson, we've seen all year, if he's not leading the first couple of laps, it doesn't really matter. He gets stronger as the race run goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. But this championship is all about accumulating points. Jack Elsgood last year won the championship and didn't win many races. I think Johnson's gone in with the same attitude this year, Aaron, because although he's right there behind Pither, he's just being very careful not to screw it up.
Well, I can't think of too many other championships where Grant Johnson, who's now won 7 races this year, as he goes for the move on Pither, down into turn 1. He's won 7 races. Elsgood's won 0, yet there's barely anything between them in the championship.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's all about how you approach the race. Oh, Fisher on the exit of turn 1 and comes back and nails our second place championship leader who's off the circuit, Aaron. This is awful.
naughty, naughty. He made a mistake, ran it wide. Elsgood was there, who didn't do anything wrong, and he ends up off the road.
Boy, oh boy, and now have a look at Johnson, our championship leader. Looks in the rear-view mirror and sees the guy who's P2 going off into the dirt. Oh, he slides it left and slides it right. What can he do? Can he make the pass? He's going the long way round. He's going to have pretty good drive off the corner to make that stick.
Gary McDonald's right in the mix as well, chasing down Fisher for third spot. Love listening to the 5.4 litre Ford V8 at work. This is Siberia. It drops away on the exit, but Johnson, it really looks like it's a case of time, not a case of when he's going to get by.
No, it's clear watching it. He is certainly the faster of the two cars, but that's always the case. Pither's defensive there going around, so you're always going to be slow when you're defensive. And Johnson is very, very, very good at just pushing people into a mistake.
And although Johnson has been doing a lot of winning this year, he's had guys racing. They haven't just rolled over and let him go through, as we see in some other categories where championship and points are ticking through the driver's brains. People have absolutely fought this guy all year, but they still haven't been able to stop him.
No, as I say, he's been in absolutely red-hot form. Pither just gets a little bit of a gap there coming out of Lukey Heights onto the main straight, but you can see he's fighting the car. I'd love to get an in-car shot of the steering wheel action. That's John Patchos, Barrel Patchos in the background. He's revved up his driver. It seems to have worked, Aaron. He's going down the inside. Pither's just moved over and let him go.
Well, I think that started the last corner.
Can he get the crossover done? The inside out. Look at the wheel work, the throttle work. Johnson almost goes wide, but now just gives him a little hip and shoulder, which is going to ruin Pither's run down into the hairpin.
And that went back to turn 12. Johnson had just a little bit more exit speed, carried it all the way through, and now Pither, he's going to have to drive for second, because I can't see him living with Grant Johnson at the moment. Let's look again. Yokohama replay, and Andrew Fisher. Hard to tell.
Line ball.
Elsgood didn't really do anything wrong.
No.
Fisher didn't deliberately wipe him out, but it'll be interesting to see if anything unfolds.
Oh, the Yokohama's getting torched by Dunny as well. What a great weekend he's had, despite that little fracas with Craig Donis in race 2.
Back with Jack Elsgood, the champ. After that touch with Andrew Fisher, looking down the leaderboard, he is in 11th. So it swings and roundabouts, snakes and ladders. Johnson had a bit of bad luck in race 2. Now it's Jack's turn, and the championship comes back to an even keel.
Oh, look how hard he's pushing. He ran just a little bit wide coming onto the straight there, but you talk about bad luck, Aaron. If there's one guy that you don't want to be behind, it's Gary Baxter. He's one of the hardest guys to pass around. As now Johnson runs a little wide out of 1. Yeah, listen to Barrel Patchos on the radio, calming his driver down.
And how's the response from Grant? Roger, mate.
It was almost a bit Craig Lowndes there.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it was
Roger.
A bit. Now, the thing is, too, I've seen a lot of cars off at turn 1. You can get an increase in the tailwind, carry a couple of extra kilometres per hour into the first corner, and really easy to run off the road.
Oh, absolutely, but big lock-up, and he takes 2 bites of the cherry to slow it up. Can he do it? Fisher just gets that car turned in. That's allowed his teammate Cedars to just nip up the inside.
And Gary McDonald got through as well, so Fisher a bit too deep on the stoppers and dropping back towards Kurt Wimmer, who's doing a great job for a guy who's been out for 10 months. That's Lauren Gray, and she's off the road, and that will bring out the safety car here at Phillip Island. Restart time at Phillip Island with race 3 in the Yokohama V8 Utes. Grant Johnson is your race leader. We jump back aboard with Jack Elsgood, who is mounting something of a fight back. He's been off the road once in this race. Now he needs to grab some spots.
It's not great for his championship. With only a couple of laps to go, there's absolutely no doubt that he is going to be pushing very, very hard in this final few laps.
Oh, he's out wide.
No. He's almost done it again, Aaron. There's no grip out there. Why would you go there, Jack?
Well, you've got to try anything and everything to get past these guys. Now, Johnson on cooler tyres, of course, the pressures will have dropped under that safety car period, and Pither and McDonald are right with him.
Yeah, these guys are teammates too. And have a look at McDonald. Oh, we go 3 wide into the hairpin. No good can come of this.
Well, they made it out.
They didn't either. Look at Jack Elsgood. He's been punched wide again. And there's some sort of AstroTurf out to the left there, which gives you no grip whatsoever.
It's great if you go and play hockey, but it's not happening here. Elsgood, out of Siberia, is compromised on the exit. But our leader, Grant Johnson's just snuck another car length or two on this first lap.
He is so good on cold tyres, and it's a cold day today at Phillip Island as well, so he's in the zone. His car control is amazing. As we see the two Icebreak Ice Coffee cars. Now can McDonald mount an attack on Pither? He slides down the inside with the lights on, just can't make it stick. I reckon I'd have thrown it up there. I'd have thrown the dice on the teammate.
You probably have lost your job too.
Well, that's true. Wouldn't have been the first time.
No, it's been happening everywhere in World Motorsport this year, but I tell you what, while those two scrap, that just lets Grant Johnson sneak away. Cedars there in 4th. Kurt Wimmer is 5th. That's a great drive. He hasn't been in a car for 10 months. Steps back in a one-off drive and performs.
Good work.
There's Barrel Pachos again, just keeping his driver focused. He's... did he just say to John, calm down?
I think he might have.
Did he tell his team manager just to calm down?
If you know Barrel, you know he's a bit excited.
Love his style. Back to Wimmer, though. He hasn't been in here in a Falcon either. The last time he was here, he was in a Commodore, so that's pretty good. We go to Quadrant on board with Jack Elsgood through the loop.
Now, the issue is here, as was the case in race 2, because of the safety car. That's exactly what I was about to say. The race has been called short by a couple of laps, so now or never for Elsgood to grab a spot.
And it'll be interesting to see if we see in the field here any last-ditch efforts as Jack goes down the inside.
Oh.
Kim goes defensive left. Oh, Kim's gone. Look at that. Kim was nowhere.
He was way wide. Scott Jennings there and Giannis Derhams in the Mango Media Falcon.
Did Elsgood get the move done, though? I couldn't see.
I reckon he might have.
Back on the top 4, but...
have a look, there he is.
Yes, he did too.
The white Falcon is in front of the yellow Commodore, so a couple more points. They all come in handy come the end of this championship, which of course is at Sydney Olympic Park in December.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go there for our second time. We're obviously there for the inaugural race last year and had a ball. Isn't this guy having a fantastic run this year? He's one of our rookies, Jero Gray, as Jack Elsgood applies the blowtorch to the back of the Rockstar car. Speaking of blowtorch, look at him smoke up the Yokies.
Lucky it's the last lap because that left front tyre's probably had better days. Elsgood trying to get the switch back, trying to get one last run home to the checkered flag. And we've been saying it all year. This guy, he is just unstoppable. The Regal Transport Group Commodore, the West Aussie, the former champ. Last time at the island, he took the championship 3 years on, and he's marching towards another crown. He takes race 3.
As we go to the back with Elsgood, can he get past Jero Gray? No. So that's going to be very interesting to see where that's going to place him for the weekend as well as the championship, Aaron.
In terms of the weekend, though, the win in this race gives Johnson the round win. Fastest lap of the race in race 3 as well. Pither and McDonald were really, really strong. Kurt Wimmer, great drive. Jack Elsgood recovers. Ben Dunn, really good weekend. Rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, that'd have to be one of his best this year. Also a very good result for Peter Burnett in the CNW Falcon. Craig Donis, good recovery, back to 17th.
And Andrew Fisher, 23rd, picked up a drive-through penalty for the contact with Elsgood that dropped him right throughout the field. Now, round points for round 5. Johnson stands on top of the podium from Pither and Elsgood. McDonald just misses the podium from Wimmer and Gray, but the island's been a happy hunting ground for our series leader.